sorry, I thought that I would be in a better mood this evening, but this morning I received this letter from Human Resources. I've been summoned to a one-on-one interactive consultation to discuss and refine workplace habits and acceptable conduct. Now, after about 20 minutes and a thesaurus, I figured out that I've been summoned to a meeting. It's all just a big misunderstanding. All I did was ask the new PhD student if he wanted to see my funky pink column. Now, I should probably explain at this point, see, I'm a chemist. And in chemistry, a column is a piece of apparatus that we use for purifying compounds. It's essentially just a long glass tube that we fill with silica, and we can purify things based on how well it sticks to the silica. Now, this time the compound I was using had traces of iodine in it, and what this does is that it turns the silica pink. And I thought that this was cool, or funky. So I literally had a funky pink column to show this student. Obviously he got the wrong impression, things got out of hand and HR got involved. If anything, offering to show him my penis only made things worse. Don't worry, that is the normal reaction to my penis. So not only were HR mad at me, sorry, they've deviated from a position that could be defined as, but is not exclusively defined as happiness. But my girlfriend is also mad at me. Yeah, I know, I was surprised too. We met about 3 years ago. It was your typical love story. Boy meets girl, girl meets boy, girl spends 3 months trying to figure out if boy is gay. Really wish that wasn't true. That's not what's unusual about our relationship. What is unusual is that I'm a chemist and she's a biologist. Now, some of you may know this, but for those of you who don't know, chemists and biologists have a sort of friendly rivalry. It's nothing that serious, just think, Rangers and Celtic, or the Bloods and the Crips, or like the Sharks and the Jets. Although with a lot less dance fighting than I was hoping for, and a lot sort of just bitching at one another's backs at seminars and conferences. Now, there are many reasons that chemists don't like biologists. Off the top of my head, they get to use big complicated words like staphylococcus or rubidicus or cell. They get to use boons and bundles like all the time, and those things are just cool. And I think the worst thing is that they keep stealing our bloody Nobel Prize every year. I mean, it's a Nobel Prize in chemistry. I don't care if you've got us closer to curing cancer. That wasn't chemistry. I'm sure there's many reasons that, biologists don't like chemists. Off the top of my head, I think the main one would be, that chemistry is a real science. No, do not feel bad for them. Some biologists are not very nice people. For example, a couple of weeks ago, my boss was giving a talk at the weekly chemical biology seminar. It was your usual sort of talk. She was going through the work that was being carried on in the group, and in each slide, next to the person's work, there was a little photo of the person doing the work. Everything was fine, it was going okay, till she got to my work and my photo, and then people started laughing at my actual face. Now let me be clear, she hadn't told any sort of joke, there was nothing funny or unusual in the slide. People were just laughing at my actual face. Not going to lie to you, Bright Club audience, that hurt. The follow-up questions were more painful, so just one here. Yes, that is his actual face. Another one here. No, I feel sorry for his mother too. And one more at the back there. No, that is his attempt at a beard. He hasn't just glued random body hair to his face. We have checked. It was quite painful. If anything, offering to show them my penis only made things worse. Now, I guess that I technically shouldn't make fun of biologists anymore, because I sort of am one now. See, about 18 months ago, I sort of switched my postdoc from doing synthetic chemistry to sort of chemistry and biology. And it's not as complicated as you may think. I mean, a lot of the general public, I think, have a general idea of what's involved. For example, when you're working with your cells or bacteria, you want to make sure that the sort of area you're working around is sterile. This sort of prevents any cross-contamination with, you know, stuff you don't want with what you're working on with your cells and bacteria. I was surprised at how many of the women in St Andrews are well aware of this facet of, you know, microbiology and cross-contamination. I mean, I only have to talk to a woman in a bar for about 10 minutes before she'll look me in the eye and say, "You should be sterilised." And a lot of times I don't even tell them I'm doing biology. I guess I just have one of those faces, you know, a biology face. But as I said, I'm learning these new techniques, and I'm indebted to sort of a lot of people in the lab who really give me very detailed instructions to follow. That, you know, instructions that even a trained monkey could carry out, which is probably good because, you know, this is what they're working with. The problem then comes is that I can follow those instructions. I'm then expected to teach others about the biology. And the problem there is I know what I'm doing, but I don't always know why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's sort of like adulthood, but in a lab environment. I found the best thing to do in this situation is just to lie. To just make anything up out the top of my head. You'd be surprised what people will believe when it's told to them from a man wearing a lab coat with a beard. So for example, hi students, step 1, you want to sterilise your work area with alcohol solution. Why do we want to sterilise it with alcohol? Thank you, random student, that's a good question. The reason we use alcohol is that bacteria are lightweight. If we get them good and drunk before they start, then they can't really interfere. They're sort of just at the back of the bench being sick, so they don't interfere. Okay. Step 2: pick a single colony from your starter culture to inoculate your main culture. Why do we pick a single colony? That's another good question, random student. That's a good, difficult question. The reason that we pick a single colony is that E. coli is an inherently lonely bacterium. If we only pick a single colony, then it uses a sort of lot of energy growing new friends, so it's not as lonely. What happens if you pick more than one colony? Well, E. coli is also inherently racist. So if we pick more than one colony, they don't get on and they sort of engage in a turf war, and that's where all the sort of energy and nutrients go. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Postdoc, for that informative and accurate information. And may I just say you're a very handsome fellow, and people shouldn't laugh at pictures of your face in seminars. Also, I disagree. I don't think your beard looks like you've just superglued pubic hair to your face. Why, thank you, random student. That's very kind of you, if a little inappropriate. But you know, you seem like a sort of cool, down-to-earth guy. Say, would you like to see a funky pink ball?